There are times when a watch just stops you in your tracks, not because it's overly complex or covered in gold, but because it's executed with such clean intent that it just works. The Addiesdive AD2037 is one of those watches. It's not flashy, it's not pretending to be anything it's not, but it is one of the most striking retro-inspired chronographs I've handled in the sub $100 range. Anyways, I really want to tell you about this watch, and I've left the link in the description below the video, so do check it out if you're after a sharp price. Let's start with what you're getting. This is a 38mm chronograph with strong vintage DNA. The dial features Roman numerals, a domed mineral crystal, tall T-pushers, and a strong presence that manages to balance antique charm with a sharp modern feel. At first glance, it looks like it should cost 3 times more than it does. But it's not perfect, and there are a few things you should know before hitting buy. Let's break it down. Dimensions-wise, we get a case diameter of 38 millimeters, a height of 12.3 millimeters, and a lug-to-lug length of 45.5 millimeters. The lug width is 20 millimeters, which makes strap changes easy. On the leather strap, it weighs just 75 grams. The sizing is absolutely spot on for a dress chronograph, and thanks to the thin bezel and domed crystal, it wears even more elegantly than the dimensions suggest. Looking down at the watch on wrist, the proportions are clean. You get that classic elongated lug silhouette, and the crystal distortion near the edges only adds to the retro vibe. From the side, the case appears multi-layered. You've got a slim brushed mid-case that stretches from lug to lug, bordered by polished top and bottom surfaces. It's a smart, cohesive build that avoids any harsh lines or abrupt angles. The T-pushers are tall and textured at the tip. There's a bit of resistance, but in a good way. The pusher at 2 o'clock starts and stops the chronograph, while the one at 4 o'clock resets it back to 0. The action is tight and satisfying. Between them, you've got a signed push-pull crown. It's not oversized, but it's easy to grip and rotate smoothly. Around the back, we get a screw-down case back that spans the full case diameter. You'll find the brand's logo in the center and spec text around the edge. Most importantly, this chronograph is rated for 100 meters of water resistance, which is quite rare at this price and a welcome surprise for a watch like this. Now, let's talk straps. You can choose between a light tan or dark brown leather strap. I went with the light tan version, but honestly, I think the darker one might have been a better fit for the overall tone of the watch. The leather is soft, genuine cowhide, stitched with white contrast thread. It's not high-end, but it's comfortable and supple. Plus, it's a quick-release strap, so you can easily swap it out for something that suits your style. However, this is where we run into the first minor gripe. The strap is completely unbranded. It says genuine leather on the back, but there's no Addiesdive logo, no additional finishing touches. That's a bit of a missed opportunity, especially when the crown and case back are signed. It's a small touch, but it goes a long way toward elevating the overall feel. The clasp is another slight letdown. It's milled, which is good, but also unsigned. It does its job just fine and feels solid, but again, it's that lack of branding that takes a bit of charm away from the full package. Now, the biggest compromise of all, the crystal. Yes, it's domed. Yes, it has anti-reflective coating, but no, it's not sapphire, it's mineral glass. And while that might not be a deal breaker for everyone, I'd be lying if I said it didn't make me hesitate. When the watch was sitting around $90 to $100, that felt like a bit too much for a mineral crystal, but I managed to grab it on sale for around $58, and at that price, I was much more comfortable making the compromise. Under that dome glass, we get a matte black dial that's beautifully balanced. Roman numerals in dark chrome mark the hours. A tessimeter scale runs the outer edge, with the minute track printed on an inner ring. At 3 o'clock, there's a 24-hour sub-dial. At 9, you've got a 60-minute chronograph counter. Both are silver, with subtle radial and sunburst textures that catch the light just right. The hands are slim and sword-like, chromed and unloomed. They're crisp and elegant, no bulk, no fuss. Same with the sub-dial hands. This is a fully non-loomed dial, so don't expect nighttime readability, but for a dress chronograph, that's entirely acceptable. Powering the watch is the Seiko VK64, a meca-quartz movement that combines the accuracy and low-maintenance nature of quartz with the feel of a mechanical chronograph. You get a smooth sweeping second hand, 0.2 second precision on the chrono function, and battery life of up to 3 years. It's one of Seiko's best budget movements, and it absolutely elevates this watch into a different league. So, where does that leave us? The Addiesdive AD2037 is a gorgeous, carefully styled, vintage-inspired chronograph. It's comfortable, well-built, and undeniably charming. Some shortcuts were taken, like the unsigned clasp and mineral glass, but the overall package punches well above its weight. If you can find it for under $70, it's a steal. If it's closer to $100, it's still good. But that mineral crystal might give you pause. Either way, this is one of the best looking vintage style chronos you'll find under $100. Definitely one worth checking out.